typically one of the answers to bounty hunters to deal with them being kind of all over the place and really not having a good answer is doing more of that death ball, that team push. Something NEWBEE are very experienced with, but that doesn't seem to be the case this go around here. They're going to definitely need the time to build up on these supports. Sansheng's Night Stalker seems to be an answer for all the invis, getting back a lot of map control. I mean, hopefully one day able to throw together the Ags and the Gem combo, and then he can always keep Klink's Bounty Hunter and Tree in check here. But look at this, NEWBEE with an early smoke play here, Purge.
Oh, wow.
Heading right towards the top rune. EG, more traditional, they kind of each head to their own lane spot. Universe gets an early ob, so he rushes it right up to probably just get some side vision or even block out the camp. Owie, the Bounty Hunter, is just going to see if he can sit on the top bounty rune.
Walks past.
Yeah, not close enough to pop the smoke.
Well, how'd they vision? That must have been a graphical bug or something. I think they, as soon as they got within where he pressed his invis, they might have seen the animation or something, because they reacted to it a bit late here.
30 seconds to
and their smoke is wasted, so but they might find Universe though.
Oh,
this
no
looks
surge.
so bad.
He has Ion
Always
Shell
finds
already
them.
committed, so he will not have the surge to get away. Oh, they get the catch with the split earth. Banana moves in. Arcane Bolt, no concussive shot necessary. They're kind of blocked at the choke point. The armor comes out from ppd.
Gonna nuke it one.
Boom, bang. They got it. Whoa. They had to sweat it out for that one, but they get Universe down. You know, you can't blame the guy. You got to get Ion Shell to get the early bit of farm, and you don't want to have to hold on to the point in reserve too long. But
yeah, you can't get surge first. It's not worth it. Even I would definitely go Ion Shell over First Blood every time. It's not worth it. He just had to commit to that. Unfortunately, AOI didn't spot the enemy heroes there because they did walk past each other. So Universe dies, but not the end of the world. And if anything, they get to their lanes. Now they're pretty much fine. So that was very good for NEWBEE, but it cost him a smoke. That's a good trade for a First Blood, I think.
ppd helps out with the block at the start for Sumail, so he gets a wonderful position. Look at this, Owie already going to be a thorn in the side for Moo here. Has the early Orb of Venom, so he's able to get off some quick jabs, and he's still going to continue to be a bit of a problem. Was not handed off any sort of sentry on the side of NEWBEE. Usually something I see from a lot of support players, they're big advocates on if you're going against a bounty, you can hand off one of the sentry wards to your mid laner just to prevent situations like this. Or Owie. I mean, look at this. Moo's down to half life, and he cannot really participate in the CS game. And look at it. It even forces out the rotation from Sansheng to kind of be on guard.
Yeah, it was really nicely done. He's got a clarity potion here, which is going to fully heal him. And I like how he also walked very far away before he ended up retreating, so they didn't even see if he's still there. Wow, look at that double rotation from these two supports. He transfers the Dust to the Night Stalker, and they're going to put a sentry down mid, and they had to do this to protect him against, and Sumail even being like, wow, there's 3 heroes mid, this is ridiculous, and AOI's going to be so happy about this because he's already at the top lane, he's about to get Ion Shelled, and he's going to go pressure, but there's a sentry there, so probably won't see him get a lot of value out of that either.
But once he sees it is a sentry, if he does, he has 2 sentries on hand. He can rid of the one up here, and then even work at the one in the mid lane thereafter if necessary. Now, Rabbit obviously sees him and is a bit sketchy here, but he will just get tickled a bit by this Ion Shell, just help kind of contest this pull through here from Universe. Universe is just kind of happy to work with the CS as he's cut the creeps entirely, and he'll be able to build into that Soul Ring. Let's,
ooh, he's going to be able to deward the sentry now. Here it comes. Oh, and he gets an obs. That's a huge deward from AOI here. And that's why he placed in this position, because the common spots for an early Observer Ward are either right here or right here. And by placing it, he gets it and the sentry. That's such super value, because now he can be really annoying and pressure. Here comes the Ion Shell and AOI. There it is. Yep. So only 30 damage a second, not super huge, but he's going to go up Banana. Look at the crit there. Puts him low. There's the pull with the armor.
Nice grab. They pop the Dust thereafter, though. They want to get redemption for their fallen comrade. They want Owie. He's going to try to hide to a little side closet here, chop his way through the Juke Lord. Make it out of there, Owie. He's able to get it away. Wonderfully played.
Man, they both survived. The tree armor there was absolutely needed, and it kept him alive. All ppd has been doing is pulling thus far this game, but it's completely working out. June getting level 3, so he's doing quite well, but man, they're just messing with the enemy right now and forcing them to move around, put Observer Wards down, Sentry Wards down, and AOI's been doing a great job so far.
The impact he's made already in the mid lane to get in the head of Moo and keep him preventing from having an inertial head start against Sumail, and now that top lane has been more than enough. And EG are happy to kind of sack the bottom lane a bit, where they normally would have a support to zone back someone like that Earthshaker, and he can't get a lot. Yeah, he might be able to get a lot now, but they're already getting so much in the other 2 lanes, it certainly doesn't matter. Now, Owie's going to get spotted. He has the idea Sentry is here. He has a Sentry of his own to get rid of it. Oh, he died. What a snipe coming out from Moo. Kicks him with the Lightning Storm. Beautifully done.
That was barely enough damage. So close there. 150 there. I swear he had about 150 damage. That was a huge play there, and unfortunately for AUI, he walked in a little bit too far, and it gave Moo that millisecond of reaction time that allowed him to land his double stun, his lane in his stun combo, so that hurts him a bit. And Rabbit goes back to farming top. Everybody is pretty much set on NEWBEE here, and the game is pretty darn equal.
Yeah, because of that takedown, they feel a little bit less pressured here. They're able to work in this top lane. Universe forced all the way back, has a soul ring now, but we'll have to get right back to his lane and catch up with the farm. One thing your Darkseer is he does really need a lot of levels. You're able to stop off now for the level 1 wall when it's buffed, but you still also have to get those levels in the vacuum.
He spotted AUI.
They see him on the high ground. Fissure setup. Aoi is in trouble. He's going for the desperate deny here. Does not get it. Sansheng, right at Night's Fall, that 4-minute mark, gets a nice little sweet treat with the help of his DD rune.
The pings from AOI, he knows that he had a ward because he was able to check him out for vision. He pinged either here or here, and it's this one here, which is just slightly offset, a nice little ward to place in the early game, something they placed when they did their first smoke. So, and another really good ward here placed by Banana. Allows them to spot where Universe is and potentially dive him in relative safety, and they don't have to worry about overdiving.
Yeah, or any potential TP rotations coming in, hiding in from behind, or TPs to the first tower. But yeah, bottom lane, they're advancing onto June here, is able to bottle up and step away from the trouble here. He's getting pretty close to level 4, but needs a bit of time. His opposite, we got Fear here, highest in CS. He's been pretty much unopposed this whole game, so it's not really surprising to see that. He's headshot is level 6, 28 and 12 CS. He's got his soul ring for now and a Bassi here, and we already were questioning a bit at the draft what his item progression would be. As of recent, been more of that minus armor deduction, your Daedalus, your medallions, the old standard being the Orchid. We'll have to see what the flavor is for Fear this game.
So pulling continued for ppd. All he's really been doing is rune control and armor for everybody, but things haven't been quite perfect. Maybe there actually was a missed armor there on Bounty Hunter, if you think about it, mid when he died to the Leshrac. Wasn't expected. Slow on Sumail there, wasn't able to get the silence off. He had to go for, I dare say he should have gone silence first there. It wouldn't have been a blink from Sumail, but getting that kill would have been a bit tough either way.
Very tricky, but you can see it's very apparent Sansheng wants to get the most out of this Nightfall while he can. Maybe putting his attention towards the 6-minute rune, which is set to pop. We already have all hands on deck. June and Sansheng on the bottom. Rabbit's going to be able to grab the top one here. Aoi can be there nearby to scout it. Looks like they don't have a sentry nearby to scout him.
Under attack.
Just the little obs. But he'll have to turn the corner and walk back on out. And it looks like, again, Universe kind of being pulled back here. Kind of an uncharacteristic hard lane here for Universe.
He's got good levels though. He's level 5.
Yeah.
I think he should be fine here. So, and against Rabbit, it's pretty tough. Storm Spirit has a lot of nuke damage. He can basically just nuke every creep wave, which is why his last hits are fairly low. So it makes things a bit tough. And there it is. 2 Iron Shells just killed, and Rabbit got all 3 CS. Storm versus Darkseer with a little bit of support. It's working out really, really nicely for NEWBEE.
Banana's even getting a bit too. Level 4 when you compare it to the other side. ppd, who'd been doing
Radiant's
the pulls and the rune checking
attack.
and a little bit of armor here and there. He's also level 4.5, so he'll be getting a lot for himself. It's a little tree. But your point is you want to rush to level 7 if possible here. Get that level 4 in the living armor.
Yeah.
Oh, Rabbit uses that invis. He's here on the bottom lane looking to go on to Fear. Right away, so they have the invis or anything to help out. They give him a living armor, but then he gets silenced up and just manhandled.
Man.
Quakes goes down. Beautiful early rotation from Rabbit, utilizing that invis he had bottled up.
Yeah, that was amazing. If he didn't get a bottle there in the safe lane, then he wouldn't have been able to do that and get that free kill on the enemy carry. Like, the living armor is just not enough to keep people alive here. NEWBEE is playing extremely well with what they've got. They had the better lane match up top. Sumail's doing pretty well mid, but he's barely beating the Leshrac despite getting pressured by the Bounty Hunter. And then AUI got shut down a little bit. Like, NEWBEE is reacting to everything perfectly right now.
And when you commit
Dire's
early
top tower
for a
is
Bounty
under
Hunter,
attack.
first pick commit. You're going into a lineup anticipating that you're going to be taking lots of fights and winning those fights and getting that track gold here. And just the way things slowly seem to be progressing into the mid game, it seems like NEWBEE are going to be the team that's a bit more comfortable taking these kind of fights. But as the level 6s do come together, and now Nightfall does end, maybe it's EG's time to really shine and try to get themselves back into the mix. And here comes Rabbit towards the top, hand in hand with Sansheng. They have a sentry down, but ppd and Universe are already on the way out. Could have been caught. Very rough position, but he seemed to make it out.
Yeah, he was very obviously spotted. They ended up moving straight towards him, and they dewarded the Observer wards, so a bit unfortunate that they lost that, but again, it's going to be really tough to keep wards up in lanes like that. Oh, bit of a dive on move. No, he's fine. it's really hard to keep observers and lanes up like that because they're always going to have sentries in anticipation of all of these invis heroes being in the game. Like, they grab so many invis heroes. I can't believe it, but it's going to make that detection so valuable. Did they get baited into this? Is this their plan? I'm not really sure, but it's looking, at least in the current moment, it's looking like it's really hurting them.
And like you said, will Banana really get anything to his name? Right now he still has yet to get the little brown foodies. He's just holding sentries in a tango for now, but the amount of work these wards have already been doing for them sure is well justified. And you can see EG very itchy on the trigger finger. They try to make that committed jump on the mid lane from Moo, but did come up a bit short. It did force out the rotation from June, so it looks like June's going to kind of work with the mid lane period for now until Lesh's return. He's making pretty good farm.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's just going to save up and go right for the blink here. Doesn't look like a step out for a soul ring at all. Seems like he's making good time.
And the Night Stalker as well, maybe a bit under leveled. Here's at level 4. Has a long time till daytime, or nighttime, sorry. So for now, he's only going to be a decent hero. Very spammable nuke with Void, and he's got a silence as well, but pretty low duration on those. Earthshaker and Scarlet Mage, though, very high levels, and they, I like this, drop the sentry and then go for the smoke, just to guarantee that that doesn't end up getting detected, because if it does, it could be 3 heroes dying, so definitely worth dropping the sentry just to be super safe.
Looks like they're allowing the supports to get a bit of love on the side of EG. ppd was solo in that top lane for a period, and then it's Owie bottom lane. They wanted him to get that level 6. He's got it now, and he's got Arcanes here. So the track is online, and he has the mana to back it up, so he can get out lots of tracks and lots of shuriken tosses. You gotta remember, with that increased sweet range, you know, you get the tracks on a couple of enemies, you only have to do a little itty-bitty shuriken toss on a nearby creep, and that thing will bounce all over the place. Serious nuke damage, low cooldown, fantastic range once it bounces.
And the gank originally was intended for mid, but unfortunately they got there a bit late. It was rune timing, and because of that, Sumail moved to top rune, didn't get spotted. Dust not catching AOI 2000, very close. He pings for that one, and that smoke was wasted, and a bit of time wasted as well. So small misplays there for NEWBEE. They took maybe a bit too long to organize that gank, and it didn't produce skill.
They see Owie, though, in a sentry they have placed on the side. They will fissure him, but it's a bit out of position. Are they going to come in on a dive? I don't think they have a backup Dust to work with. They don't. So they're not going to make any sort of hasty moves here. He's just going to nuke him from far, and NEWBEE are going to try to get as much damage on tier 1 as possible. Sumail still working with this mid lane, not going into that ballsy fighting state we see Sumail go for. Has been opted to just kind of plant himself firmly in this mid lane until he feels comfortable enough to make that happen. He has about 1,300 gold saved up.
ppd might be in trouble.
Oh, they see him here. They scout him out,
detection.
but no, just a brief tap. Bottom lane at that same moment, they were able to get the jump onto Owie right behind the tower. That sentry on the north side helps set it up to get the quick kill.
Is under attack.
So was that the Dust? They don't have anything left, so quite possibly.
I think he might have just been caught out, and they just took advantage of it fast. Lead and fissure would have been more than enough, and with it, they'll be able to follow with a tier 1 takedown. Fear had to depart from this bottom lane. I thought maybe while he was allowing Owie to farm up on the bottom to get to that level 6, he'd go and try to make a gank happen, but nothing really presented itself, so he's been pretty inactive this game so far, just getting killed once. 0, 1, and 0. Been a quiet game so far for EG.
Dire's middle tower
So he grabs out the creep, goes invis. I think though he's probably shoot somehow, or maybe anticipating it. But he's invis. I must have seen the invis wearing off, so now they know there's an invis Earthshaker. They could set up for this. Got AUI, doesn't have detection other than track, but Earthshaker has to show himself for that to work. And ppd also scouting out a kill, but there's a regen on the Storm Spirit, and he just moved way into safety due to that regen.
Yeah, way up towards his tier 1 tower. He'll be happy to kind of hide under there. His allies with TPs at the ready. Not going to be too good of a target to make the jump on. EG, in the meantime, just kind of scout on out through the NEWBEE jungle side here. Not going to be catching anyone out. They're busy working in the lanes, mid lane in particular. We've got 3 gathered around, just Owie at the defense for now. Now Sumail makes his return. Sumail with the Ogre Club here. Purge. So possibly an early build into a BKB, or is that the first component of the Ags?
I feel he does build Ags almost every single time, but this is the most BKB game ever. There's a silence on Scarlet Mage. If he gets silence there, he dies. If there's a silence from Night Stalker, he dies, because either one of those is going to lead to Storm Spirit initiating if he feels that all comfortable going in. And plus there's stuns on Lashback, plus there's an Earthshaker. Like, it is so scary for him.
They got the mech on Universe. Spurge, I think they want to fight. They got 4 people here committed at the top lane and a track already out onto Rabbit. The second he sees that, he decides to pull back instead. I don't know if Universe has not revealed the mech yet.
Radiant's middle
Now
tower
hiding
is
under the
under
smoke.
attack.
EG just looking for an opportunity to make something happen. It might have to be in the mid lane. NEWBEE already on the assault here. Track out from the high ground, leads in from Owie. Universe surges on forward here. And NEWBEE playing a bit disciplined, decide to pull back.
Radiant structures
They're
are
creeping in,
fortified.
Purge. They really want to make a fight
Radiant's
happen
top
here.
Ooh, that
tower
spawn,
is
AUI
under
2000.
attack.
Oh, Fear 2, Fear 2, they saw Fear. He walked right in, now he's going to get silenced. He's going to throw it in, look in, he gets bumped for the splitter, then a quick kill. June helps out with a big echo slam, and now they want out. This one little sentry ward is scouting out this very sneaky squad of EG, and they're going to wipe the floor with the 3 invis units. Now, all the meanwhile, Sumail able to get a double kill for himself, takes out Lesh and Skywrath Mage, but it is NEWBEE who get the best of this skirmish.
They really did. EG swung around from the backside, but the sentry, just like happened against VP, it was in position this time, so they saw them coming. They were able to initiate. Quince was able to blow up the Skywrath Mage pretty fast, and we actually did see the Leshrac die, but it wasn't a good fight there for EG. They lost 3 heroes, I believe, and the tower went down. And the worst part, unfortunately, was that Universe surged forward to try to mech the Clinks, keep them alive. Didn't get him in time, so they lost the mech advantage that they had, and that just led to them losing the fight out pretty hard. So NEWBEE's just positioning really well. They're spending sentries where they need to. Skywrath Mage has not yet surpassed our farm predictions yet, just sit on the magic stick with the brown boots, but it's completely working. Universe getting caught here.
They got a good grab, and they make it look
Radiant's
easy.
top tower is
No
under
chance
attack.
to get anything off, not even a mech. NEWBEE looking to take
Radiant
over this one,
structures
Purge.
are
They had a
fortified.
beautiful landing stage. They got the picks they wanted. EG weighing out, waiting a bit. They got their mech. They thought it was their
Radiant's
chance to go
top
on the
tower
move.
has
And
fallen.
NEWBEE with proper positioning
Dire's
and a
middle
great sentry
tower is
ward
under
took the
attack.
fight over. And now they feel they have the power advantage, and they're just going to go and start checking off the list of objectives here. And if EG want to contest, they feel like they're ready for the fight.
The Night Stalker support pick, I think, was really the good solution against the Bounty Hunter, because normally Bounty is looking to punish greedy supports that don't have a lot of survivability, but Night Stalker has really high base armor, he's got really high strength gain, and he's also very, very strong the first nighttime, whereas like a hero like Lion, who's got low HP, low armor, doesn't really feel comfortable roaming and pressuring, but Night Stalker's totally cool. He's way stronger than a Bounty is in the early game. He runs faster than him, he does more right-click damage, he attacks faster, his Void skill is very high damage output on low cooldown. It's like it's the bounty counter. It's in a weird way. It basically is one less hero that's vulnerable to that roam, and as long as they have good sentry ward positioning, then the bounty doesn't actually do anything. And I feel like AUI's he had such a good early first kill and good movement, but then it was just death after death due to good NEWBEE play, and they've outplayed the bounty hunter, I feel.
They really have. You look at the bounty hunter, he's 3rd lowest in net worth for a guy who's got the track. They're trying to get the kills, but they're not getting the track bonus here. The bounty hunter can almost feel similar to Undying, more of a one-dimensional kind of a hero, and if that one dimension doesn't seem to work out, it could be a bit of a struggle to kind of recover and get yourself in as a big impact hero.
Dire's
But
top
the
tower
nice thing
is
also
under
is if
attack.
things do start to turn
Dire's
over a new leaf for
structures are
EG,
fortified.
they'll have the bonus of tracking with this NEWBEE movement. They're going to get popped. They pop the dust right after, so they're going to see Owie, and they hop right onto him. And that is the
Dire's
debut Blink
top
Dagger from
tower is
June,
falling.
and they get a quick bounty hunter snap.
No, I think that might have been okay. I don't know if you interrupted a TP or not, but it allowed Fear to get the top tower. AUI's levels are still pretty low at this point, so I feel like I bought them some slight space. He might have actually made gold in that, honestly, by dying. Probably not, but wow, it shows the death cost now. He lost 240 gold, apparently. I've never seen that stat before, have you? When you highlight over the gold? That's cool.
Oh.
That must be new. I've never seen that before. Or maybe I'm just bad.
I always look at like what I need to get like back as a buyback in my surplus, so maybe
Yeah.
it's been there the whole time I never noticed, but maybe you're right.
So AUI filling up the bottle here.
Oh, hasted. Look at
Radiant's
June.
middle
Just
tower is
blitzes
under
on in
attack.
there, pops out the dust and says we're getting Fear, and Rabbit follows suit, and they're going to get the quick pick on Clinks here.
Man, they just have the counters. They've got Dust, they've got now Blink Dagger and Earthshaker. He can do the initial catch. Storm can follow for the damage. They just have the solution. Just think, soon it's going to be a gem, and then things get really bad. Really bad for them.
Can't help but agree with you with this Night Stalker pick. I mean, I hope teams didn't sleep on the Night Stalker. I know it was all the rage for quite a while there.
Yeah.
The infamous 4-position roaming pesky
Dire's
Night Stalker who
middle
eventually
tower
gets
is
an
under
Ags and a
attack.
gem and takes over, but kind of been, I don't mean to make this a pun, hiding in the dark for a bit. Now he resurfaces here in the hands of NEWBEE, and EG kind of question trying to draw back to what they need to do to deal with this Night Stalker, because it's definitely worked out beautifully for NEWBEE as a response. And this was a support Night Stalker who is getting pretty dang close to finishing out Nags.
Sumail shifts to the top lane. He wants to get a kill on this Leshrac, if possible. ppd is scouting him out here. Don't know. He did not get vision, actually. And AUI is also moving around. They're just having so much trouble with their invis heroes. Like Fear as well also has only gotten that one assist that one time they fought mid. They're having trouble finding anybody to kill. It's basically a gank squad. 3-man gank squad at all times for NEWBEE. They move together, kill bounty, kill other heroes if possible. And EG is looking for kills, but they keep evading things.
I mean, having a buddy-buddy system seems to be the best thing you can ask for NEWBEE, because you got a Clinks running around, a bounty hunter running around, any sort of straggling little support is going to be easily taken advantage of. Nice denied mid lane there. Sansheng NEWBEE getting rid of that extra gold for EG. And because they're able to make these little gank squads, it's proven to be quite difficult for EG. They're not able to respond and instead just try to split objectives for themselves. And here comes NEWBEE down the mid lane. We'll have to see if EG are going to try to pull out a response.
Radiant's middle
Looks
tower
like they're going to go for it here. Mu pops the edict. Owie first on the scene. Yet to dish out the track. Just continues to wait out. June and him first spot here. Blink, Echo at the ready. They're even going to have Rabbit jump in there. He gets tracked up.
They're not fighting this, I don't think.
No way.
Oh, maybe.
ppd's coming from the north. They have the combo factor. A big overgrowth, vacuum wall, sonic wave.
They don't have a sentry in the right place for ppd. He could actually get into this.
He's waiting. Nana's heading up there.
Fear's almost here.
They have dust on Sansheng. Oh, they got a sentry up there now. Now they're going to see him. Oh, do they see him? They see him now. They move on to ppd. They silence him up. Meanwhile, they break on through. Rabbit comes right back in with the help of an echo from June. They quickly take out Owie and Universe. Now the pullback on the Fear. Fear looking to retreat to the south. Overgrowth from ppd stops them in their tracks, but doesn't stop Rabbit. He's still on the move, but Fear gets plenty of assistance from ppd with the living armor. But now Sumail under the gun. June gets out. Big fissure and a long blink saves him. Okay, they go right back for the tower. I mean, EG, it could have been a lot worse, Purge.
Yeah, I thought, I was like, all right, they won that fight, because it seemed like they barely squeezed out every little ounce of damage and stuff that they had, but they did have 2 heroes die there, and they didn't get any kills. But it could have been like 4 heroes dying, but they didn't because they played well, but I really felt like they were going to get more of that. I think Clinks was slightly out of position. I didn't really see him do damage until later. Sumail jumped in, took all the aggro, got a kill on the Leshrac, but I think there was a suicide from Lesh, actually, if I look at things. Leshrac did actually get killed there for 500 gold. There may or may not have been a track. I'm not entirely sure, but I assume that there was because they did focus him. I'm sure they coordinated that. So maybe worth it there, but they lost the tower, which is going to push it over the edge, not being their advantage. But considering they're behind, that was good. They played that very, very well.
And considering as well ppd being spotted out early on when he, for a moment there, had an opportunity where he could come in from the north and set up a wonderful overgrowth. They spot him out early and silence him out, but he's still able to get close enough to help out with overgrowth on the retreat, and then that nice little living armor to save Fear. So Fear will make it out without having to lose too much. He's going into this heavy-hitting build-up we see time and time again, Purge. You know, Desolator now complete and in hand. We'll see if they decide to go for a quick pick. I mean, now it's a good enough tool where if they take a good enough fight, they can sweep in and get a Roche right thereafter.
The Dire team see him waiting for that large camp. We'll see if they end up going for the kill. Sentry put down on to spot the other EG observer wards, so EG knows where they are, and they're going to run right into this one, I think. Universe looking for blink.
Oh, right into a fissure though, and Universe just gets annihilated before he can do anything about it. Banana will go down. That's a trap kill for EG. Overgrowth not going to be enough to save him this time. He gets dropped, a 2-for-1 trade, one that EG do not like, and they just hightail it the hell out of there. NEWBEE not looking to go. June quick cancel the fissure as Sumail blinks away. ppd also able to slip out. Oh man, they were in such a good position there. Almost a complete 180 from what we saw in their very first game, NEWBEE. They were on the high ground, and this time they were ready. Universe was charging on in, but literally ran face first into a brick wall of June's fissure.
The fissure into the other nuke damage was just way too much. I didn't even see him die, honestly. I thought that he was going to be able to get his spells off. That looked like a good EG fight. The Quap blinked in. I was like, here comes the Quap ult. Cooldown for 10 seconds. They didn't quite have the damage. They weren't quite ready for that one. And NEWBEE as well was just as aware of EG as EG was of NEWBEE. And they just had the level and the damage advantage. So that was really tough for them. And now it's going to lead to a Roche loss. And again, Fear. 0-4-1 now. He hasn't been able to leverage his hero at all this game. It's been so tough for him. He's got the Desolator, and he does really good damage if he's not being focused, but there's so many ways for NEWBEE supports to focus him, and it's not looking good for EG at all here.
I mean, normally coming to a draft lineup like this, like let's say it's a pump for me, if I was a support on the side of NEWBEE, I'd hate my life. I got all these Invis heroes creeping around, they're looking to pick me off, but they have been happy to take that challenge on. And the Skywrath Mage is just a ward fiend, and it's clearly paid off. I mean, if the 1 Sentry and Obs on the high ground there is going to get him a fight like that, then they are certainly happy with it. So
yeah,
they're able to follow it up. They get the Roche down. They feel like they're in a commanding enough position here. EG moving this top. They might be able to get a hold of Rabbit. It's a 3-on-1. Can Rabbit make it out quick? Drops down the Spirit. They're going to see him, and he says, nope,
no way.
Step out and back. Not unless you got that crazy Orchid pulled out.
Dyer's
Yeah,
bottom
from nowhere.
tower
From
is
nowhere.
under attack.
There's no way they can stop the Storm Spirit. There's nothing. They have no stuns. They have, what, a root from the Treant Protector, but that doesn't stop him from using Ball Lightning. There's actually no way they can kill him, especially because he went for the Bloodstone first build. I mean, yeah, he's got a whole Orchid on top of that, but very rare to see the Bloodstone first build, but it's completely worth it this game. If all they have is damage, you just want HP. Pretty simple. You don't have to worry about killing them. You just have to make sure you don't die.
Oh! Oh! Oh, he saw him.
He was Invis.
Okay, I was going to say, probably the Invis couldn't get the Vortex pool. And Rabbit will quick to react, though. He's like, you want to track me, boy?
Yeah, he was like, oh, I know exactly where you are.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He is just quick to draw. But look at this NEWBEE moving in. Oh, Sumail could be in trouble. What a nice BKB pop. Now he dishes out a big Sonic Wave. Good damage, but it is going to be easily mitigated, and they walk away from trouble. Before it can blink out. The Splitter, he's not going anywhere. He gets dropped. Meanwhile, Rabbit cleaning up some backstab there, gets a hold of Universe again. He's going to go down. Very uncharacteristic game. I don't know if that's the sense that NEWBEE are coming to play or that EG are just not warmed up and ready, because this is a NEWBEE stomping so far.
It just feels a lot like a, this looks like a strat that EG has done. They're like, oh, we like all these Invis heroes, we get a lot of ganks off, we put pressure on them, and most teams can't handle it. Well, NEWBEE can completely handle it. They apparently have experience playing against bounty players, because man, they are just dealing with it so amazing. And Banana, like we said, super sacrificing. He's 1, 3, and 5. Oh, he's got a bracer. Beat our expectations, man. But look what he sacrificed for. Night Stalker's got an Ags, Treads, and now he's buying the gem, and now
Radiant's
is game
middle
over.
tower is under
because
attack.
at this point, they've already sacrificed enough. Now they have unobstructed night vision with True Sight against the Invisi heroes of EG.
Yeah.
And they need like 4 Black King bars to be able to stand up against NEWBEE's team fight and a Hex or an Orchid. They just don't have that.
It's like all counterfight for EG now, because they have no initiation. With this Ags and Gem, they're going to see anything coming their way. And there's no blink yet on Darkseer, so he can't like lead in with a big vacuum wall to start things off. There's no blink on PPD, so he can't jump in and get a big overgrowth. Sumail could lead in, but I mean, that doesn't stop an Echo Slam lead in thereafter.
Bottom tower is under
It's
attack.
just not looking like EG are going to be able to have a big team fight impact. And stuff really gets crazy, and now they have to start relying on what could be a high ground defense. Bottom lane, NEWBEE are already charging on through. They're going to get this tier 2 relatively easily.
Radiant's
And
bottom
they'll
tower
just pull back
has
thereafter.
Yep. A little bit of a track on Lesh, that way they can see where NEWBEE is moving to after
Could
they
use
do back.
himself if he wanted to. I don't
Yeah,
know
that's a
why
good
he's
point,
not.
actually. He also Invis. That is a bit peculiar. Maybe he's just going to go farm mid.
Let's go Moo.
Yeah, he's just farming. No big deal. I guess he didn't want the rune. Maybe it just popped off because it had been
Dyer's
too long
top
or
tower
something. Not
is
quite
under
sure.
attack.
But, yeah, track. Showing remove.
Where's Rabbit going? Hey, he's going right to EG's bottom lane. He gets a quick kill on the PPD. He went so fast I couldn't even catch up with him. He makes it in and gets an easy support kill and gets right out on his own home turf. Disrespect.
Yeah, the Orchid. There's no stuns. There's a vacuum. That's it. Vacuum in, strike, and toss.
Caught out as well under a sentry ward, just trying to farm what he thinks is one of the safest spots in NEWBEE's jungle. He's dead.
It's just, this game just looks completely unwinnable for EG to me. Like, everything they had in their draft was the early game roaming, and NEWBEE completely shut it down, and it turned around and was kills on a bounty hunter. And now they have all these heroes that are decent at ganking and good at pressuring, but they're terrible at team fighting. They only have 2 to 3 team fight heroes with Treant, Queen, and Darkseer. Darkseer does have a blink now, so his team fight will be reliable, but it's going to be so hard to win.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Could
attack.
be one here. Lots of them at this rate. NEWBEE looking damn strong. They got Moo with an Aegis leading out to the high ground here, getting some serious edict damage. EG got to rally up and find a way to respond. Not lose too much. They're playing it very safe though. NEWBEE just kind of waiting back. They got this unobstructed vision to work with here. and they just can know exactly what EG are thinking. ppd's waiting way in the back under his invis. We have yet to see EG be able to pull out that big kind of team combo. What better time than now if they want to kind of stay alive?
There's the smoke. That's the only thing that's going to protect them
Radiant's
against
bottom
Sansheng
tower
finding them with
is
the
under
Night Stalker.
attack.
Yep. So they're going to be looking for the initiation soon. Preferably before the tower goes down. They have one more armor. There's the armor on the tree, or on the tower. That's the last armor. Almost not going to blanket onto BKB is used. Storm Spirit falls in too.
They're running. They're running. They're just going to walk away. But that pulls back, gets his own organ. They go right for Universe, and he is going to be eliminated. Yet to get that big vacuum wall combo this game, he is shut down. ppd thereafter. Rabbit moves in. He's able to sidestep and make it away. They have no way to stop Rabbit from just walking away from the trouble. That means now there's only 3 on the side of EG, and NEWBEE, they'll take their winnings and walk away.
I think that initiation by Sumail there was just not properly timed. I mean, he took a fissure, I guess, while popping BKB, so they wasted that, but like Universe had to chase after NEWBEE as they escaped there, and because of that, the Orchid was very obvious for Storm Spirit, and Rabbit was able to execute. And as soon as the Orchid happens on him, then just a little bit more chain stun, and that's a dead Darkster. He does get mech off, but the focus from the Skyrim Mage was way too much damage. So they got 2 kills there. They further pushed their lead. EG didn't get anything out of that team fight other than defending their tower, and that is not what they need here. They needed to get a kill in response, and I think the initiation just wasn't quite perfect. But it's so hard. Like, who goes in first? It can't be the Invis heroes. They get spotted. They're not going to clump up as 5, so Universe can't just blink vacuum. It's such a tough initiation, and Sumail tried to make it work, and it just didn't work.
The EG lineup, I can't help but feel like it feels a bit one-dimensional right now, where if it didn't work out the way they planned, there is no plan B to fall back on. They were banking on getting great pickoffs, serious track gold, having Sumail do what he does, ball out of control. Fear would be able to help out with some serious right-click thereafter and cleaning up the objectives, but that is certainly not the case, and they are just desperately on this recovery path. And it seems like it's going to be quite a while. Fear trying to string together what looks like a BKB for himself to help with all that serious burst, but NEWBEE not looking to wait too much longer. They want to put a lid on this game and lead out this best-of-2 series with 1 win.
And against one of the tournament favorites, that is looking really good. And a lot of people didn't expect NEWBEE to do very well coming in today. They went 1-1 against VP, but this first start against EG, they have looked like one of the best teams I've seen yet today. So maybe they can do it. 2-time TI champs, is it possible? That would be an insane storyline, especially coming into TI.
People would
as one
freak
of the
out.
worst. Yeah, they'd be like, great, NEWBEE literally played RPGs all year. They show up at the tournament and bam, knock everybody down. That would be crazy.
I mean, and since then, the performances, their DAC showing, like everyone, it was like all a front. They're just like, we're just not playing no seriously.
They're like that one guy. It's like, oh, I wasn't trying when I lost there. Just wait till I try. We'll beat you. And then they actually do it.
But even then, like I said before, last year their group stage showing wasn't the best. They just happened to really turn it up. It was key arena time. Right now they're firing on all cylinders. Certainly in this first match against EG, and there goes Rabbit right on in. It's the pullback, and Sumail is dead. Sumail, a big Storm Spirit player, man, he got a taste of his own medicine on that one. Rabbit moves in easily. They double back. They're going to get the tier 3 down. There we go. Vacuum wall only onto 2, and they just walk away as if I know. See you later. No big deal. They don't have the lockdown to stop him and hold him there. He's in trouble. No overgrowth's going to be had. He gets caught out. Mystic Flare, figure follow-up. Sumail back to the dead. Charges in. He goes down again. It could be game. Okay, takes it out. So,
looks like committed suicide. I don't know why EG Fear's going to go down, though. So it's still going to be fun. Was that a taunting?
Did he gave life to his team to stay alive and keep fighting?
Yeah, I think they were messing around there because, man, they couldn't even kill the Bracer Wand Burn Skyrim Mage. And that is a good game. NEWBEE takes it completely convincing. They made EG look terrible in that game. They completely shut down the bounty room after that first kill. And at that point, Fear got pressured. Storm Spirit did whatever he wanted to. And when a Storm is in that kind of a game, there's nothing he can do to mess up, basically, after he gets HP. And I loved his initiation. Straight onto Sumail, the one guy that could initiate. They literally killed him with 2 stuns. That was all it took. Pull into a fissure.